This is Professor Pete Alexander with the Winning at Business and Life podcast, where business leaders share their insights. It is 6 questions in 7 minutes because successful business leaders are busy and rarely have more time to spare. So let's get to it. Question number 1, in a few sentences, please tell me who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Jason Case. I run a CRM marketing automation software. We have different components for that software that help businesses streamline their business operations, everything from sales, marketing, to real-time reporting. We also have a component for franchise systems in there as well to help the entire franchise system operate better, from the corporate office to managing their franchise locations to each franchise specific location as well. So,
Jason, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Question number 2, what's the best thing about working in your industry?
To me, it's this. The reason I got into this is just the passion to helping other business owners. So I also run a marketing agency, and that's it just helping businesses grow. And with the software, we're really able to understand kind of like their pain points, and then tackle those, right, and help them run their businesses more efficiently. And it's just a joy to see that transformation from like chaos to kind of like some sense of relief once you get the systems in place. So.
And I can totally appreciate that sense of relief as a former marketing person myself. So thank you for what you do for us. Question 3. I have a fictitious book with all the answers for business. What chapter would you think most companies should read?
Oh, man. Time management. And that's probably just mainly because of my struggles over the years, with trying to stay focused on the tasks that actually matter. I mean, I think anybody that's an entrepreneur can relate to this. You always have so many ideas popping into your head. I mean, I'll wake up times at like 3:30 in the morning and have this next great idea. And I think the biggest thing is like, you got to understand how to prioritize, those ideas and not get sidetracked on the important task. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like a big thing that it takes a lot of time to figure out what works for you, and for me specifically, it's just, any of those ideas, just jot them down, put them in like a backlog so you don't forget about them, but they're not on your current to-do list for that current week or current 2 weeks that you're working on, and just focus on the things that's going to move the needle forward. So.
Mm-hmm. That's very sound advice. And by writing it down, then you don't stress about forgetting it as well. So it has multiple benefits by doing that. Question number 4, other than the generic work harder, have a great attitude, and care for customers, what advice or insight would you give to other business leaders?
Oh man, this is one that, if you know me, I repeat all the time. Strive for progress, not perfection. I think that's huge. You can always come back and perfect things later, but if you're always focusing on perfecting things, then you'll never get anything across the finish line. And it's all about like actionable task, what you can get done. And what you think might work might not work. So if you spend 6 months, a year trying to perfect something and launch something, and then come to find out it doesn't even work, you just wasted all that time. Just get it out there, experiment with it, and then come back and perfect things as you go.
Mm-hmm. I think that's very wise. And as you were talking, I was thinking about the advice that I gave to some budding authors. The same thing is that if you continue to work on the book and make it perfect, it'll never get done. And that's any project. It just won't get done. So I think that that's very sage advice. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Question number 5. What other business leader like yourself would you like to acknowledge and invite to be on my podcast?
One of my good friends, Steve, he's super savvy business person that's got his hands in multiple different things. And I think he'd be a great person to interview on your show.
Perfect. And what's Steve's last name?
Flaherty.
Okay,
So
great.
I'll,
So I'll be able to reach out to him, and I appreciate that referral. And our final question, question number 6. Please tell me about your first job.
first job ever that actually was on the books was I was a bag boy at Kroger's. I mean, it was a pretty basic job. You know, you bag groceries and, you know, took them out. And at that time, you know, it was more of the customer service thing. Right now, you know, I think like grocery stores have really tried to streamline that process. But back then, you know, you had a lot more like interaction with the customers, and you took the groceries out to the car, put them in, you know, the trunk, and, you know, hopefully get some tips and stuff like that. Now I think it's, you know, bag the groceries, here you go, you're on your own type thing. So
Yep, and customer service is getting to be a lost art, isn't it?
right.
So, Jason, thank you so much for being on the show. How can people find you?
LinkedIn's probably the best bet. So my personal profiles on there, business profiles or business pages are on there as well. So yeah, reach out to me there. I'd love to chat.
Perfect. This is Professor Pete Alexander with the Winning at Business and Life podcast. Thanks for listening.